Life as a professional golfer provides a passport to some of the most spectacular places on Earth. And this week on the HotelPlanner Tour underlines that perfectly. After back-to-back events in France, the class of 2025 have moved on to Austria. Golf Club Schladming-Dachstein was designed by two-time Masters winner Bernhard Langer. The par 69 championship layout is truly unique, with 6 par 3s in total, 3 on each 9. However, it's the spectacular views that really set this golf course apart. With stunning alpine scenery like that, it's no wonder that Austrian golfers enjoy returning home so much.
My name is Maximilian Steinlechner. I'm 25 years old and I'm from Innsbruck, Austria. And I'm a professional golfer on the HotelPlanner Tour. Hey. I've started playing golf when I was really young. Basically, when I started being able to walk, I started swinging things around because of my parents. Like, my dad got me into it. I was told that when I was still a baby, my dad would hold me on his arm and would chip one-handed in the garden. The game has always been a part of me, so it just grew from there. Where is he going? He's making a turn. Too short. I have to be quick, otherwise I can't reach it anymore. Oh no, he's going fast. Oh. 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 Oh! I think it would have been close. Yeah, I hit the collecting thing, the collector thing, not the actual car.
It's always been fun and games for Steinlechner. That approach has taken him far, all the way to the USA, in fact, as he furthered his education and golfing career at college.
I went to North Carolina State. That's University of North Carolina, where Michael Jordan went. It's like 30 minutes away. Yeah. 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 Yeah, it was good. It was nice on and off the course.
Steinlechner graduated in 2023, but his education was not yet complete.
Yeah, so in Austria, every boy after school has to either serve in the army for 6 months or do a first responder training for 9 months. And it's also nice if you're part of like a national team, or if you play your sport at a higher competitive level, because then you can be part of the sport division of the army, which has many advantages. One is you just have to do basic training for a month, and then you will be transferred to the sport division, which basically means for you as an athlete that you get to practice like normal, go to tournaments like normal. You're still part of the army. It's a lot of discipline, it's a lot of things that you just don't experience elsewhere. But I think it's a positive thing. I enjoyed it, honestly.
And it's that disciplined approach that helped Steinlechner transition to the paid golfing ranks. Thanks to the Austrian Golf Federation, he was invited to compete on the HotelPlanner Tour. Despite taking some time to find his feet, a trip to South Africa earlier this year might have provided just the boost he needed.
I went to just south of Johannesburg to play a Sunshine Tour event. And the reasoning behind that was to get ready for the co-sanctioned events with the HotelPlanner Tour in South Africa. And yeah, it worked out really well, and I won that tournament. Through that win, I was able to get a Sunshine Tour category, which is nice because it gets me into the co-sanctions with the DP Tour. So after the HotelPlanner events, I had a week off, and then I played SA and Joburg Open, And from there I flew straight to India for the next HotelPlanner Tour, which I did pretty well and finished 5th and 4th. Yeah, then the UAE events were good as well. I think one top 15 and the other one I finished around 30th. So that part of the season went pretty solid, I would say.
He also parlayed that early season form into a solid showing at his National Open on the DP World Tour in May.
It was nice because I did pretty well. I mean, I played well the first round and then made a stupid double on my last hole. And then I knew I had to put a solid round together to make the weekend. And I finished, I don't know, I was inside the cut. I was ready to go for the weekend. And then the third round I played really well, shot 6 under, and then all of a sudden I was 7th. And then on Sunday maybe I tried to be a little too aggressive, because I mean, I know, like, not gonna make a move forward if you don't make something happen, you know. Maybe I was trying to be a little too aggressive at some points and didn't execute perfect, I guess. But yeah, all in all, it was a good tournament. It was a cool experience at home with the people, and looking forward to this same thing again next year.
Having tasted success on home turf, Steinlechner was keen for more. He got his campaign at the Interwetten Open underway on Thursday morning, alongside the previous week's runner-up James Allen and two-time winner on the HotelPlanner Tour, Felix Maury. And he couldn't have asked for a better start to his round. Despite pulling his opening tee shot, he was only left with a pitch onto the green, setting up a nerve-settling opening birdie. With the flat stick firing early, Steinlechner cashed in. A monster putt followed here on the third hole as the Austrian moved to 2 under par. A solitary bogey on his outward 9 was bookended by birdies on 5 and 7. The 25-year-old turned in 3 under and set the early pace. When he birdied the 10th hole, he appeared to be in cruise control. However, the elements intervened, and a storm that had been brewing in the area finally forced the players from the course. After an almost 5.5-hour delay, play resumed, but much of the magic and momentum had been lost. Steinlechner could muster just one more birdie over his next 8 holes, eventually signing for a still decent 5 under par 64.
Yeah, it was kind of almost like playing 2 separate rounds in a day. And like first round 12 holes and second round 6 holes. That's kind of what it felt like with that long delay and not really knowing when it continues. So I'm glad in the end that we finished the round though.
Steinlechner was one of the lucky ones. Almost half of the 156-man field were unable to complete their first rounds. Before darkness fell, though, Sam Jones seized the overnight top spot with a 7 under par 62. The New Zealander leading by 1 over David Lundgren and Bradley Borden. Round 1 would be completed early on Friday morning, before JC Ritchie stood out from the crowd, snatching the outright lead from Jones en route to an 8 under par second round 61. As a result of the delay on Thursday, the tee times were pushed back by some way, with Steinlechner only getting his second round underway off the 10th hole at just after 4 in the afternoon. The late start didn't seem to deter him though, and with the putter red hot again, he opened his account with a birdie. Further gains followed at the 12th and 13th holes as Steinlechner moved into a share of the lead. However, disaster struck with a double drop on 15 and a bogey on 16. Suddenly, Steinlechner was back to where he began the day on 5 under. His response was swift though. He steadied the ship with back-to-back birdies on 17 and 18, before tapping in that eagle on the first after driving the green. With a bit between his teeth, Steinlechner came charging home. 4 birdies followed in his final 7 holes as he assumed the outright lead. A par at the last saw Steinlechner sign for a second round 61, his lowest ever score in professional play. It vaulted him to the top of the leaderboard, too clear of J.C. Ritchie and Filippo Celli.
Golf tournament is 72 holes. We're at the halfway mark, so I don't really try and enjoy it while it's not over, you know. I'll enjoy it when the tournament is over. So until then, I'll just keep doing my thing.
Coming up, Open season. Royal Portrush is calling the class of 2025. And we'll find out who came out on top at the Interwetten Open. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to the HotelPlanner Tour. We're in Austria this week, and much to the delight of home fans, it was a local leading the way. Maximilian Steinlechner had seized control of proceedings thanks to rounds of 64 and 61. A handy 2-shot cushion at the summit, but would it hold up with a whole host of talent queuing up behind him? Waiting to see how things played out on moving day in the mountains, your commentator, Kit Alexander.
The leader, Maximilian Steinlechner, already had a birdie and an eagle at the opening hole this week. Inches from a second eagle, but he would hold that birdie putt to open up a 2-shot lead. Anton Albers had this for eagle on the 5th, and it went in to reach the summit alongside Steinlechner. He'd birdied 1 and 2. The momentum faded though, and he would end the day tied 14th. Filippo Celli was coming off of a birdie at the 4th, and the 24-year-old Italian hit this beauty of a second shot into the par 5 5th. Lovely stroke and no mistake, in it went, and he made it a 4-way tie at the top of the leaderboard. One of those was J.C. Ritchie, who's 10th on the road to Mallorca, and he was the first to get to 15 under par with this sensational bomb on the par 3 8th. He'd have a quadruple bogey on 12, but still shoot a 66 to finish the day 2 off the lead. Ben Stowe came charging through on Saturday. He started the day 4 off the pace, but finished just 1 back thanks to a 63. The second best round of the day. Steinlechner, though, wasn't getting phased. He picked up birdies on 12 and 14, and another here at 16 restored the 25-year-old's 2-shot advantage. He made a bogey on 17 to lead by just 1. He didn't take advantage of 18, a closing par, a 3 under par 66, and a 1-stroke lead going into the final round.
Well, Ben Stowe, Filippo Celli and David Law were hot on Steinlechner's heels. Vince Van Veen was the big mover though, thanks to a Saturday 61. He leapt into a share of 7th. But they were all chasing an Austrian.
The game wasn't my best, so I definitely played and hit better shots the last 2 rounds, but I feel like I managed it well. I didn't make any real stupid decisions, besides maybe one. And no, I was solid, managed it well, and yeah, 3 under for today, 16 under total leading into final round is solid, yeah.
Now, it's the dream of every professional golfer to compete on the world stage, and there can surely be none bigger or grander than the Open Championship. Qualifying for the oldest tournament in the world concluded 2 days before the Interwetten Open began, with 288 golfers battling it out on 4 courses across the UK for just 20 spots at Royal Portrush. Justin Walters emerged victorious at Burnham and Barrow after carding rounds of 65 and 68 in the grueling 36-hole shootout.
It still is sinking in a little bit. It was quite a rush from getting it all done to trying to get here in Austria. So I think seeing your peers, everyone kind of giving you a high five and just encouraging you, it's starting to sink in a little bit. It's wonderful to be able to play in an event that I grew up watching so much as a boy. So I have fond memories of watching a lot of golf, listening to Peter Ellis, and to be back playing again after nearly 10 years or even more, 10 years. It's just a wonderful feeling.
At the other end of the spectrum was John Axelson, who secured the final qualifying spot at Royal Cinque Ports.
I'm a little bit tired right now after 36 and an early flight, but it was worth it. And yes, I still don't think that I can kind of grasp that I'm going to a major, also because it's my first one. But yeah, quite pleased with it.
While Axelson will be making his debut at the Open, Curtis Knipes will return to Royal Portrush for a second time after he qualified in 2019.
The Open is just such a crazy week. It's the one we all want to go to and the one we want to play. Obviously, I was there 6 years ago at the same venue, so it's a bit of a full circle moment, and handy that I know the course a little bit. The memories should start flooding back, and yeah, I can't wait.
George Blore punched his ticket for Portrush thanks to a pair of 69s around West Lancashire.
The day was really special. I had a lot of members of family, my parents there, family, girlfriends, aunties, uncles, and lots of friends came. So the day was really special to share it with them. It was quite emotional at the end. With golf's a roller coaster ride, so you have ups and downs, and just to have such a big up of qualifying for the Open with family and friends around made that really special. And I know that that's only the start of it. The week itself is going to be very special.
Special times indeed, and we'll follow their progress closely as the 153rd Open tees off in mid-July. But back to the here and now. Austrian Maximilian Steinlechner had a one-shot advantage heading into the final round in Austria, but would that be enough to carry him to victory in front of home fans? Kit can provide the answer.
2018 amateur champion Jovan Rabula came storming out the blocks with this superb chip-in for an eagle at the first. The South African would go on to shoot a 63 to secure his best ever HotelPlanner Tour finish at tied third. Steinlechner was also chipping from just off of the first green for eagle. Nicely judged, and he would convert for the opening birdie. Ben Stowe was also out in the final group. Controlled the spin with this wedge beautifully into the second to set up a birdie, but 2 birdies and 2 bogeys were not good enough to challenge, and he dropped 8 places down the leaderboard to finish tied 10th. Steinlechner won on the Sunshine Tour at the start of the year and was showing how comfortable he was in the lead. Another birdie here at the 4th. Bojan Guillamondegui with a lovely chip. Not quite in for the eagle, but the Frenchman had a superb weekend with rounds of 63 and 64 to finish in a tie for third. JC Ritchie started birdie, and this eagle at 5 got him into a tie for the lead at 18 under par. Filippo Celli was 2 under for his round and just 2 shots back. Played this aggressive tee shot at the par 3 8th and would make the birdie to get within 1. Richie made the turn tied for the lead, but dropped a shot on 11. Excellent chip here on 12, set up the birdie, but he would fade. 1 birdie and 1 bogey the rest of the way for a 65. Steinlechner started the back nine with a birdie and had this eagle putt at 12 for a 3-shot lead. Great speed, and he would tap in for the birdie to get to 20 under par. Celli made the turn in 32 shots, but could only muster 1 birdie and 7 pars in his next 8 holes. He found the putting surface in 2 on the last, but missed his eagle putt, the birdie to post 19 under. Steinlechner picked up another shot at the 13th, but a bogey on 16 meant he had a 1-shot lead as he played the 18th. So he did it sensibly, not going for it in 2, but hitting an excellent 3rd shot. He finished with a birdie to take him to 21 under par, a maiden HotelPlanner Tour title and a statement victory on home soil that takes the Austrian into the top 3 of the Road to Mallorca standings.
Well, Aaron Zemmer carded the low round of the day. An 8 under par 61 saw him leap 40 places up the leaderboard into a share of 10th. It was the local lad, though, who peaked in the Austrian mountains. A final round 64 sealed the deal for Steinlechner.
It was a cool day. I mean, I know the conditions were pretty straightforward, so I had to show up if I want to win. And yeah, tee to green was, I mean, everything was just good enough. It was nice that I was making some putts on the back nine, but tee to green wasn't spectacular or anything, but just good enough. And then got a little momentum going and then finished it off nicely. So all in all, solid, yeah.
There's no change at the top of the rankings, with Renato Paratore still leading the way on the road to Mallorca. Victory propelled Maximilian Steinlechner up to 3rd spot, ahead of Josh Berry. Oyhan Guillamondegui continues to gain ground. A share of 3rd in Austria saw him up to 12th. Tobias Johnson's now in possession of that all-important 20th spot. What a week it was in Austria, as we watched the winner from start to triumphant finish. Next time, it's the D&D Real Czech Challenge, when the pursuit of promotion to the DP World Tour continues.